lecture. ठीक है? So if you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. ठीक है? It is for your benefit only. Okay. ठीक है? So we'll just have a quick revision. Hopefully the screen is visible to everybody and I am very clearly audible. If you can't hear or can't see the screen, please let me know. Okay? सबको दिख रहा है ना स्क्रीन?
Yes, miss.
हाँ, and please जल्दी जवाब देना because my laptop can die anytime. Okay? Fine. So just a quick revision. हमने क्या क्या देखा था? We had seen what is bioinformatics. ठीक है? Just in a very short way, I will tell you, bioinformatics is nothing but the combination of biology and information technology, wherein we are going to use information technology and we're going to use information technology, computer sciences. We're also going to be using statistics, mathematical calculations for the analysis of all the biological data that we come up with. Okay, that is what bioinformatics is basically. Okay, and we are going to use computers. That is why informatics a term comes there. Okay, so analysis of biological data using computers, using statistics and mathematics. That is what your bioinformatics is. We had seen the three aims of bioinformatics. The first is to organize the data in such a way that the researchers can access the existing information which is present, okay, and also submit new entries. The second aim is what? To develop tools and resources, like to come up with databases and also search tools, okay, like FASTA and BLAST, so that we can analyze the data which is existing and also the ones that we come up, the new data that we come up with. This is how the sequence, DNA sequence or your protein sequence will look like in a FASTA format, and this is what it will look like in a BLAST format. Okay? Keep the cursor on. Okay. The third aim is to use all these tools and these databases to analyze whatever data we are having and interpret the results in a biologically meaningful manner. So, ये three aims है, main aims है of bioinformatics. What is the ultimate goal? To improve the understanding of how a living cell functions at a molecular level. Since we are talking about the molecules, that is your biomolecules, your DNA, your RNA, your proteins. So that is how we are going to be using bioinformatics to understand how the cells will function at the molecular level. So basically how your DNA is functioning, your RNA and your proteins are functioning. ठीक है? Scope देखा था to come up with computational tools in the databases and use those tools and databases to generate biological knowledge, and that the two are complementary to each other. What we use these tools for or these databases is for structural sequence and functional analysis. Okay, अभी जैसे कि मेरा DNA का sequence है, मुझे उसका function जानना है, तो I will use the computational tools, and if I want to check कि already is it pre-existing, I will use a database. Okay, then where bioinformatics has a major role or an impact is your basic genomic and molecular biology research, biotechnology and biomedical sciences. ये basic just overview of all the applications of bioinformatics. Then we had seen whether bioinformatics and computational biology are the same or not. And then we came to the conclusion that we're using computational biology to develop algorithms, models, or softwares, which we will ultimately be using in bioinformatics, right? For the sequence, structured and functional analysis of genes and genomes and all of their corresponding products. मतलब क्या है, जो भी algorithms, जो भी softwares हम bioinformatics में use करने वाले हैं, उसको हम computational biology में पहले उसको बनाएंगे, उसको हम design करेंगे, develop करेंगे, and then we will use all of those algorithms and softwares in bioinformatics for what? For the sequence analysis, structural analysis and the functional analysis of what? Of the genes, genomes and all of their products. ठीक है, इतना तक हमने परसों देखा था. Just the introductory part of what is bioinformatics. Today we are going to be learning what is actually done. अभी बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स क्या है वो हम समझ गए हैं, बट हम करते क्या है बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स में? फर्स्ट वी विल कम अप विद अ क्वेश्चन, ठीक है, उसका हम रिसर्च करेंगे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर मुझे एक नया ड्रग का डिस्कवरी करना है, आई वांट टू ब्रिंग अ न्यू ड्रग इन द मार्केट. ओके, द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन विल कम अप विद व्हाट कुड बी, व्हाट केमिकल कैन आई यूज एज अ ड्रग. अल्टीमेटली हम जो भी एपीआई मतलब मेडिसिन जो हम कंज्यूम करते थे, नथिंग बट दे आर ऑल केमिकल्स, राइट? सो आई नीड टू कम अप विद अ क्वेश्चन कि क्या मेरा ये पर्टिकुलर एक्स वाई जेड केमिकल कैन बिकम एन एपीआई. Okay, so that is a drug discovery process. So the question arises that can it become an API? So मैं क्या करूंगी, मैं research करूंगी उसको ऊपर, right? I will do n number of tests and experiments to see whether this chemical can be an API. Means can it have therapeutic value or will it be toxic? तो वो मेरा सब research part में वो सब include हो जाएगा. Then I will come with a hypothesis. Okay, whether if this particular chemical is within such certain limits, can it perform as an API or will it still be toxic to the system, human system or animal system? That will come up as my hypothesis. I will do a test with an experiment, right? I will test my hypothesis with an experiment. Now this will not only be in vitro but will also include biostatistics. जहाँ पे मैं hypothesis test करूंगी. Then I will analyze the results and I will draw the conclusions कि मुझे जो भी results आया है, I will conclude on that basis. Now, depending on that results that I get, I will either conclude that the hypothesis is true. मतलब कि if my hypothesis is that this particular chemical can perform as an API if manipulated, okay, कुछ structure में मैंने change कर दिया तो ये एक API बन सकता है. अगर वो मेरा hypothesis true है, I will conclude my experiment or my question. But what will happen if my hypothesis is false? अगर मेरा hypothesis ये था कि the particular chemical can perform as an API, but what if the test is failing? Means कि it is not performing as an API, it will rather be toxic. What will I do then? I will think again about my hypothesis. Okay, either I will frame a new hypothesis or I will make the necessary changes in my hypothesis, or I can change my test or my experiment. Okay? Finally, whatever comes, whether the hypothesis is true, whether it is false, I will report whatever results are generated because I have raised a question which needs to be answered. Okay? So I will report the result. All this is done in bioinformatics, means using computational tools, using all the softwares and algorithms that are available on the internet. I'm going to use all of those to answer my question. Okay, this is what exactly we do using bioinformatics or in bioinformatics. Moving on to databases. So this is the next subunit or subtopic, that is databases. Now, what comes to your mind when you hear the term databases? It is nothing but the storage, okay, of data. So one of the hallmarks of modern genomic research is the generation of enormous amounts of raw sequence data. Genomic research, if you guys remember the term genome, it is completely related to the DNA, right? So whenever you're doing genomic, it will give me some data, right? So जहाँ पे genomic है, DNA है, it will DNA, RNA है, it will give me a sequence, right? वन डायमेंशनल सीक्वेंस देगा वो मुझे, बराबर. तो वो जो भी डेटा रहेगा वो बहुत रॉ डेटा है. जो मैंने एक्सपेरिमेंट किया मुझे डेटा मिला, इट इज माई रॉ डेटा. तो ऐसे तो नहीं है कि एक ही रिसर्च चलता है, एन नंबर ऑफ मिलियंस ऑफ रिसर्च गोइंग ऑन और मे बी थाउजेंड्स ऑफ रिसर्चेस ऑन जीनोम्स गोइंग ऑन, ठीक है, व्हिच आर समवेयर रिलेटेड टू डीएनए एंड आरएनए. तो वो इतना सारा डेटा जो जनरेट होता है वो मैं कहाँ स्टोर करूं? आई नीड सम प्लेस टू स्टोर इट, राइट? So what that is the base of generating the database or creating a database, okay, to store all of my valuable data which comes up from research. Now, as the volume of genomic data grows, sophisticated computational methodologies are required to manage the data deluge. Right now, जैसे जैसे data increase, experiment increase होगा, research is expanding, my data also, volume of my data will grow. So I need very sophisticated methodologies to come up with the databases. Okay, so I can manage all of my data in a very sophisticated and a very organized way. So it's a very challenging, the very first challenge in the genomics era is to store and handle this staggering volume of information through the establishment and use of computer databases. मैं लिखूंगी, I will have my physical raw hard copy, ठीक है? But what if it gets lost? What if it gets burnt? What if it water spills on it? What if it gets robbed? Okay, so I need to store it online or in my computer. ठीक है, कंप्यूटर में भी कैसे होता है, if the space gets full, then where will I store my data? So I rather store it on the internet where I will create my databases. ठीक है, तो जितना भी मेरा genomic research में मेरा data create होता है या generate होता है, I will put them in my online databases. So what exactly is a database? It is a computerized archive which is used to store and organize the data. हम store तो कर रहे हैं, we will not just randomly put all the information. No, we need to organize it. Like अगर for example, Escherichia coli bacteria है, right? उसका जो भी sequence है and उसका origin क्या है, what is the strain number? I need to put all of that. I need to organize all of that data to a specific strain, specific species. I just can't randomly put all my data. I need to organize it in such a way that later on in future, if I need to access the data or retrieve the data, it should be in a very organized way and बहुत साफ सुथरे से way में होना चाहिए कि I can easily understand. Okay, ठीक है, ये Escherichia coli strain number so and so है and ये सब उसका DNA का RNA का sequence है. ठीक है, so why I need a database is to store my data but also to organize it in such a way that I can retrieve it easily. Okay, databases are composed of computer hardware and software for data management. The chief objective of the development of a database is to organize data to enable easy retrieval of the information, right? I'm not just storing my data, I'm going to even organize it so that it is all the information is easily retrievable. Each record is called an entry. ठीक है, जो भी डेटाबेस में रिकॉर्ड रहता है वो एक एंट्री होती है. अब अगर मैंने एक पर्टिकुलर सीक्वेंस का मेरे पास एक डेटा है, आई एम सबमिटिंग इट इनटू द डेटाबेस, सो दैट विल बी कॉल्ड माय एंट्री. Okay, it will contain number of fields that will hold the actual data items, fields for the names, phone number, addresses, and the dates. Just an example. If I need to retrieve this particular record from the database, I need to put a specific piece of information like the value to be found in a particular field and expect the computer to retrieve the whole data record. मतलब क्या हुआ इसका? For example, मैंने मेरे लैपटॉप पे एक फाइल सेव किया हुआ है. We'll call that an entry. File named as MSc Part 1 Notes. Okay. So this is my entry and I open my laptop and I directly search. ठीक है, main search में जाकर I click or I type part 1. So it is my value which I have given to the field, or I mean to that particular entry. So as soon as I type part 1, I'm going to get n number of listings, which all my files which are having the name part 1. जो मुझे चाहिए मैं वो select कर सकती हूँ. That is what these terms mean, record entry value. Now this process of putting the value into the search field is called as making a query. Okay, so when I enter my query, I press enter or search, or it will give me hits. That is all that will be corresponding to my value. ठीक है? Okay, now types of databases. अब database क्या है वो पता चल गया. It is an archive which is online. ठीक है, जिसमें हम हमारा सारा जो भी research का data है हम उसको store and organize करेंगे. Okay, that is our database. And there will be types of databases as well. Originally, databases all used a flat file format, which is a long text file that contains many entries separated by a delimiter. तो ये एक vertical bar होता है जिससे पहले जो भी text file था, ठीक है, उसको वो लोग separate करते थे. जैसे कि फाइल का नाम हो गया, डेट हो गया, रिसर्च कोड जो भी है, एंट्री कोड, वो सब. तो what they how they used to the file name would be very long, and it would all of those would be separated by the entries would be separated by the delimiter. That is your flat file format. Now, if I want to search a flat file for a particular piece of information, the computer has to read through the entire file. Okay, if I just want the sequence, okay, or if I just want the a structure of that particular protein, for example, and I submit all the databases using a flat file format. तो अगर मैं जाकर उस डेटाबेस पे एक क्वेरी देती हूँ, कैन इन द सीक्वेंस ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर प्रोटीन, तो व्हाट दैट डेटाबेस विल डू इज, वो जो कंप्यूटर वो डेटाबेस को क्या करेगा, वो पूरा फाइल उसको रीड करेगा. ओके, इट विल नॉट प्रॉम्प्टली गिव मी द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ दैट प्रोटीन. वो पूरा फाइल पढ़ने के बाद वो मुझे वो स्ट्रक्चर देगा, which is a very inefficient process. ठीक है, because time is money, right? So I cannot waste so much of time for just one structure. So it is manageable for small databases. ठीक है, छोटे databases है तो it is manageable. But what will happen if I'm having a genomic research, and there are so many people who are doing that research, and they will curate the database, and if that database uses a flat file format, just imagine the amount of time it will take to retrieve that information. ठीक है, तो जैसे जैसे डेटा बेस या डेटा जो साइज होता है, अमाउंट या वॉल्यूम ऑफ डेटा इंक्रीजेस, the obviously database will enlarge, so you cannot use flat file format in that case. तो क्या करेंगे अगर flat file format नहीं यूज कर सकते हैं, तो उसके लिए क्या है, it is a sophisticated computer software program, okay, called as your database management systems or DBMS. ठीक है, to facilitate the access and retrieval of data for large databases, sophisticated computer software programs for organizing, searching, and accessing data have been developed over the time. Of course, as the people or the IT techs, they क्या बोलते हैं, वो जो pros होते हैं, when they realize that there's enormous amount of data which is being generated over time, we cannot use small databases. ऐसा 1000 छोटे छोटे database use करने से अच्छा है एक बड़ा सा database हम बना दे, right? So they came up with better programs for organizing the data, and they are called as your database management systems or your DBMS short form. अभी उसमें दो types के हैं. The first is your object-oriented database management systems. And your second is your relational database management systems. ठीक है, we are not going to go in much depth of it. Consequently, databases employing these management systems are known as relational databases or object-oriented databases, respectively. So, if मेरा DBMS is object-oriented, the database which is using the DBMS, which is object-oriented, वो मेरा object-oriented database कहलाएगा, right? In the same way, if my DBMS is using a relational system, ठीक है, तो वो मेरा database will be called as your relational database. ठीक है, it is just like कि अगर मेरा जो object oriented database management system है, ठीक है, तो उसका database है object oriented database, यानी कि my object oriented database is going to use OODBMS to manage all of my data. In the same way, relational databases is going to use RDBMS as its managing system for data management. ठीक है, अगर याद रखना it is corresponding. ठीक है, okay. Next is your relational data DBMS or database management system. So it uses a set of tables to organize data. So every table is your relation. Okay, table is made of columns and rows. ये तो हमको पता ही है. Columns are your individual fields. Rows are the values in the fields of records. So to execute a query in a relational database, the system selects linked data items from different tables and combines the information into one report. ये याद रखो, next slide में picture है, it will become more clear. Okay. Therefore, specific information can be found more quickly from a relational database than a flat file database. तो ये क्या करेगा? There are tables, right? All of your data is put into tables. The table is made up of rows and columns, right? All your columns are going to have individual fields. Your rows are going to have your values of that particular record, right? So if I make a query, तो मेरा relational database क्या करने वाला? It is going to link the data items, okay, and it is going to give me one report. वो सारे डेटा सारे टेबल्स मुझे नहीं देगा, जो इन्फॉर्मेशन मुझे चाहिए है वो उसको लिंक इंटरलिंक करके मुझे एक रिपोर्ट देगा. Okay, so it will give me information faster than flat file database. The programming language which is used for to make a relational DBMS is your SQL. ठीक है, SQL is your structured query language. ठीक है, मैंने फुल फॉर्म नहीं लिखा हुआ है, सो प्लीज राइट इट डाउन. ठीक है, SQL का फुल फॉर्म है स्ट्रक्चर्ड क्वेरी लैंग्वेज, प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज फॉर RDBMS और रिलेशनल डेटाबेस मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम्स के लिए प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज इज योर SQL. But the problem with relational database management system is it does not describe any hierarchical relationships. Hierarchy पता है ना कि नहीं पता है? किसी को पता है हायरार्की का मतलब क्या होता है? नहीं पता है तो पढ़ के आओ. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू स्पेंड टाइम ऑन दैट. ओके, ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड डेटाबेस मैनेजमेंट में सिस्टम्स में क्या होता है? इट विल स्टोर द डेटा एज ऑब्जेक्ट्स. ठीक है, नाम में दिया हुआ इट विल स्टोर ऑल माय डेटा एज ऑब्जेक्ट्स, wherein RDBMS में it is going to use tables to organize the data. यहाँ पे डेटा जो है एज एन ऑब्जेक्ट वो स्टोर करता है. An object can be considered as a unit that combines data and mathematical routines that act on the data. Okay? The database is structured such that the objects are linked by a set of pointers, defining predetermined relationships between the objects. Searching the database involves navigating through the objects with the aid of pointers linking different objects. थोड़ा बहुत similar to relational database management system है, but in a more sophisticated manner. Picture जब तुम उसका देखोगे तो clear हो जाएगा. And the programming language for OODBMS is C++. C++, SQL, these are all programming languages. Java, ठीक है, ये सारे तुम्हारे programming languages होते हैं जिसमें हम coding वगैरह करके they come up with these databases and stuff. Okay, so just remember these two types of databases. Okay, all right, so this is how your relational database looks like. ठीक है, 3 tables में divide हो गया. This is your flat file format. तो फ्लैट फाइल डेटाबेस जो रहेगा ये इस फॉर्मेट में ये सारा डेटा ऐसे वो स्टोर करता है. बट इफ यू कंपेयर इट विद रिलेशनल डेटाबेस it is so organized, right? There's table A, B and C. There are your columns and your rows, right? So every field has a value, correct? Your rows are having the values, the columns are having your fields. ठीक है, फिर टेबल B and टेबल C, तो जो भी मुझे डेटा चाहिए वो मुझे इजीली मिल जाएगा. Okay, so if I put a query saying that for example student number 2 course number course chem 289, if I put this query in the database, in this relational database, मुझे सिर्फ ये मिलेगा, ये वाला जो वैल्यू है, this is what I will get. ठीक है, वो मेरा क्या बोलता है क्वेरी का हिट रहेगा. सो इफ आई पुट द क्वेरी in the search box of the database, for example student number 5, ठीक है, I put the name as Howard Douglas, ठीक है, and I put the course number as math 172. it will give me a hit of this particular student. ठीक है, कि उसका कोर्स का नंबर क्या है और उसका कोर्स का नेम क्या है. मुझे वो डेटाबेस मुझे सिर्फ इतना रिजल्ट देगा. इट विल नॉट गिव मी द अदर रिजल्ट, मुझे सिर्फ ये एक हिट देगा. ठीक है, द सेकंड पिक्चर इज योर ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड DBMS. ठीक है, और डेटाबेस. सो ऑल द ऑब्जेक्ट्स, दिस इज हाउ डिफरेंटली दे हैव द ऑल द डेटा इज स्टोर्ड. ठीक है, स्टेट ऑब्जेक्ट, स्टूडेंट ऑब्जेक्ट, कोर्स ऑब्जेक्ट. या क्या मतलब है, उनका जो स्टेट है, स्टेट के हिसाब से उन्होंने डेटा को स्टोर किया है, स्टूडेंट के नेम के हिसाब से स्टोर किया हुआ है, एंड अलोंग विद द कोर्स नंबर. ठीक है, दे हैव उन्होंने उसको स्टोर किया हुआ है. सो द कोर्स नंबर एंड कोर्स नेम इज स्टोर्ड एज 1. ठीक है, द स्टूडेंट नेम, स्टूडेंट नंबर एज 1 एंड द स्टेट एज 1. So if I put a query of the same, if I put the student's name, only the student's name in my query box, it will give me a hit of that particular student's name along with everything related to that particular student. ठीक है? The student number is 1. His name is John Smith and he's from the state of Texas. So if I put only John Smith in the query box, वो मुझे क्या क्या देगा? Student का number देगा because it is interrelated. ठीक है? That's how it is linked. Okay, he's from Texas. वो भी मुझे पता चलेगा. And since student number 1 को assigned value is bioinfo 689, ठीक है? It will automatically give me the course name as bioinformatics. So if I just put John Smith in the query, it will directly give me the state he belongs to, his course number and his course name. That is how it will give me the result. ठीक है? दोनों भी databases में मुझे result ऐसे ही मिलेगा, but the quicker one will be your object oriented. Why? Because the working mechanism is different than your relational database management. Mostly detail में नहीं जाने वाले हैं. Just know the difference between the two types of databases. All right. ठीक. Moving on to biological databases, which is more specific to our understanding. So what are biological databases? They are going to store all the biological data generated in electronic form. It is a collection of data that is structured, searchable, updated periodically and cross-referenced. ठीक है? जो भी data है वो एक structural manner में उसको store किया जाएगा. It is searchable. ठीक है? Public databases होता है, मैं जाके search कर सकती हूँ. I will get the required information. It is updated periodically because research keeps happening and there are new entries which are put. So the database is going to be updated periodically and cross-referenced. ठीक है? तो ऐसे नहीं कि एक कंट्री का डेटाबेस एक ही है तो वो ही रेफर करेगा. It is global. Since it's online, anyone and everyone can refer to it. Current biological databases all use three types of database structures. That is your flat files, relational and object oriented database management system जो है उसके अंडर ये तीनों databases के types available है जितने भी biological databases है. तो बट नेचुरल जो फ्लैट फाइल डेटाबेस होंगे वो बहुत छोटे डेटाबेसेस होंगे एज कंपेयर टू योर रिलेशनल एंड योर ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड डेटाबेसेस, राइट? Okay. Based on their content, now the three databases or biological databases or three types, they are divided into flat file, relational and object oriented databases based on the structure. ठीक है? But based on the content, they're again classified into three types. That is your primary databases, secondary databases, and your specialized databases. Okay. Primary databases, since the term primary itself, it means that all the data which is present in the database is original database or it is raw. ठीक है? Archives of raw sequences. जैसे मेरा research होता है जो data generate होता है, when I put it into the database, it is all raw data. ठीक है? It could be raw sequence or it could be structural data. For example, मैंने DNA का sequencing किया है तो वो जो मेरा data रहेगा वो sequence data रहेगा. अगर मैंने protein का structure find out कर लिया using tools like X-ray crystallography or something like that, और मैंने NMR कर लिया, these are tools, ठीक है? और techniques with which I can know the protein structure. तो वो जो data रहेगा, it would be my structural data. It would be raw. तो बेसिकली जो सेकेंडरी डेटाबेस होता है इट इज कंप्यूटेशनली प्रोसेस्ड, ठीक है, एंड और मैनुअली क्यूरेटेड इंफॉर्मेशन बेस्ड ऑन द ओरिजिनल इंफॉर्मेशन फ्रॉम प्राइमरी डेटाबेसेस. तो जो प्राइमरी डेटाबेस में जो इंफॉर्मेशन ऑलरेडी है उसको थोड़ा प्रोसेस कर लिया, उसको थोड़ा मैनिपुलेट कर लिया, ठीक है, वो जो इंफॉर्मेशन हम प्राइमरी डेटाबेस से लेकर सेकेंडरी डेटाबेस में डालते हैं, ठीक है, वो सारा इंफॉर्मेशन हम जब उसको हम प्रोसेस करते हैं, कंप्यूटेशनली प्रोसेस करेंगे या मैन्युअली हम उसको क्यूरेट करेंगे, ठीक है, कुछ चेंजेस अगर हमें करने हैं तो ऑल ऑफ दैट इंफॉर्मेशन इज पुट इन द सेकेंडरी डेटाबेस. ठीक है, इट कंटेन्स इंफॉर्मेशन लाइक कंजर्व्ड सीक्वेंसेस ऑफ डीएनए और योर प्रोटीन्स और योर आरएनए, फंक्शनल सीक्वेंस एनोटेशंस एटसेट्रा. ठीक है, तो जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन हमको प्राइमरी डेटाबेसेस में मिलता है उसमें मैंने अगर ये सब कंजर्व सीक्वेंस अगर उसमें हाईलाइट कर दिया तो वो डेटा मैं सेकेंडरी डेटाबेस में डालूंगी, ठीक है. सो पीपल who are concerned to know about the conserved sequence of a particular protein or maybe a motif of a protein, they will directly go to the use the secondary database instead of using the primary database. ठीक है. Examples of secondary databases are SwissProt, Protein Information Resources. Finally, specialized databases. Specialized databases क्या होते हैं? Basically, there are amalgamation. जो भी जितनी primary databases है, उस सब का amalgamation is your um, specialized databases, and they are basically used for research purposes. ठीक है. Examples are Flybase, there is HIV sequence database, and ribosomal database project. ठीक है. These are the three types of databases. हम एक एक करके सारे databases हम पढ़ने वाले हैं. So मूविंग ऑन टू इंफॉर्मेशन रिट्रीवल सिस्टम्स. ठीक है. इसका क्या मतलब होता है कि जो भी अभी डेटाबेस में हमने सारा इंफॉर्मेशन डाला हुआ है, ओके, और हाउ डू आई रिट्रीव दैट? तो कुछ तो एक होगा ना मेथोडोलॉजी, देयर विल बी सम सिस्टम, समथिंग व्हिच विल हेल्प मी रिट्रीव द डेटा. तो वो होता है तुम्हारे इंफॉर्मेशन रिट्रीवल सिस्टम्स. ठीक है. तो popular retrieval systems for biological databases are ENTRIS and your SRS, that is your sequence retrieval systems. ठीक है. They are the retrieval systems which will help me access data and it will give me integrated search results. ठीक है. तो ये जो retrieval systems होते हैं, they are going to be specific for certain databases. ठीक है. कुछ database में ENTRIS will be the information retrieval system, किसी में SRS होगा. Okay, but they are both good retrieval systems, information retrieval systems. This is about ENTRIS here. So it is developed and it is maintained by NCBI. Okay, NCBI is your National Center of Biotechnology Information. ये भी मैंने नहीं लिखा हुआ है, so please note it. ठीक है. It will allow me to perform text based searches. ठीक है. I don't have to put any code or anything, I just have to put the text. If I need to search the structure of a particular protein, I just need to put the name of the protein. It will give me all the information related to that particular protein. One of the databases which is accessible from ENTRIS is a biomedical literature database known as PubMed. ठीक है. PubMed में via ENTRIS I can access. Then another unique database which is accessible is your OMIM, which is your Online Mendelian Inheritance in Man. 12th standard का 11th या 12th standard का Mendelian Genetics याद है? तो उसका एक उन्होंने एक database बनाया हुआ है which is accessible via ENTRIS. ठीक है. Also if you use GenBank, तो GenBank में भी retrieval system is of ENTRIS only. ठीक है. So OMIM is basically a non-sequence based database of human disease genes and human genetic disorders. ठीक है. So ENTRIS is basically developed and it is maintained by the NCBI. SRS is your sequence retrieval system which is maintained by the EBI. It allows the user to query multiple databases simultaneously. It offers is I think यूरोपियन बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स इंस्टीट्यूट है शायद से, आई एम नॉट श्योर, शायद हाँ. EBI is a European bioinformatics institute, so it is maintained by SRS is maintained by EBI. तो SRS में क्या है? It will help me retrieve data from multiple databases at the same time. Okay. So to perform complex queries in a database often requires the use of Boolean operators. ठीक है. Boolean are nothing but using and or not. ठीक है. तो अगर मुझे कुछ particular query देनी है and I use these terms like and or and not, so those databases also are using your Boolean operators in order to give me the correct results. Okay, to give me correct hits as per the query that I put in, which will include these words like and, or, and not. Why are we using these Boolean operators? Is to indicate relationships between the keywords. Okay. Most search engines of public biological databases use the form of Boolean logic. तो जितने भी है there is PubMed, there is GenBank, DDBJ, इस सब में Boolean operators वो लोग use करते हैं so that I get the exact hit that I need. Okay, this is about your IRS.